All right, good morning, traders. Today is April 3rd, 2025. Mr. Trump Tariff Day, little alliteration there. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank everybody out there in digital land, podcast land, cyber land. All right. Thank you for finding the value in my content. I love that. I appreciate that. Thank you for the subscriptions to my content. I like that a lot. All right. And I like the kind words. Thank you so much for all of the kindness shown to me. I appreciate that. I don't take that for granted. All right. All right. So I don't know if this is going to make much of a difference because everything got jumbled up after close yesterday with the with the Trump tariffs. Okay. So, but anyways, okay. All of the Fab Five are still in daily downtrends. No surprise there. SPY made a higher high and a higher low, closing above a bearish trap but below the falling 17. SPY closed. It closed, all right, with a 2-hour uptrend. That's not where it's going to open. And a 10-minute uptrend. Okay, Diamond Dow made a higher high and a higher low, closing above a bearish trap and over a fading 17. QQQ and FNGA made higher highs and higher lows, closing inside their bearish traps but below their falling 17s. IWM made an outside day, that's a higher high, and a lower low, closing over a bearish trap but below the 17 EMA. Gold and silver, both in daily uptrends. Gold made an inside day, that's a lower high and a higher low, closing above a bullish trap. Nice again, over the rising 17 EMA. Silver, made a higher high and a higher low, closing inside a bearish trap over the 17. USO high flyer made a lower high and a lower low, but still closed over the bullish trap over the 17. UNG, another high flyer, all right, made a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish cross under the 17. US dollar index still in a downtrend, even with the tariffs. That's the US dollar's tanking right now. All right, they seem to have broke major support. All right, so US dollar in a downtrend, closed near the 103.70 area. Today, for SPY options that expire today, all right, is max pain is 564 with a put to call ratio of about 1 1/3 puts to each call that expires today. All right. I'm going to be a big shout out to our greedy pig awards for yesterday. Stu got 13 daily goals. That means he increased his whole trading account by 13%. That's huge in one day. Wow. I think sometimes that's better than what the SPY does in a whole year. And he just did that in one day. Way to go, Stu. And Mel, all right, did a whopping 44 daily goals. All right. That's huge. That's crazy. That's wild. And I couldn't be happier for everybody that made daily goals yesterday and found success. Thank you so much. All right. So hey, let's go take a look at some charts here. Yeah, outstanding trading, people. Wow. All right. I'll start at 8:03. We can erase that. Let's take a look at SPY. Start with the 10-minute trend. All right, you can see the candles right here and the 3 EMA right here. All right, up over the white line. All right, this is the white line. Okay, that's the 8 EMA. So we have a bullish trap because there's space, all right, between the yellow line, which is above, and the white line below. Okay, so that's a bullish uptrend coming into the close. All right, over VWAP. So there's 10-minute for SPY. All right, let's take a look at the 2-hour. Okay, 2 hours, same gig. All right, candle, 3 EMA up over the 8 EMA. Okay, all up over the rising hooking 17 EMA. It's not. You can see we're going to open up down here. Okay, it's not looking good. All right, on the daily chart, higher low, higher high, closing. Okay, over the bullish trap. Oh no, excuse me, over the bearish trap, but underneath the falling 17 right there. So there's SPY on the daily chart. Let's take a look at the game plan. All right, for the game plan, let's zoom out here. All right, slide this over. All right, for SPY game plan for today. I don't know how relevant it's going to be. All right, so I'm just going to say I'm looking to trade, especially 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. All right, preferably those rubber band candles getting broken. All right, 10-minute uptrends over VWAP and 10-minute downtrends under VWAP with those rubber band candles getting broken. All right, so I like SPY. I like Friday options. I like them $2 to $5 out of the money. So those would be 1 day till expiration and 8 days till expiration. Okay, because Friday's tomorrow. Okay, so we got a green erases red event. All right, over 565.50 right there. All right, we have a red erases green event. All right, that's the low of yesterday, below 554.90. All right, SPY pivot for today, 561.20. I don't think we'll even be near it. All right, so price action way down here, challenging the low. I think they got lower than the low in the aftermarket there. So there's the 10-minute SPY game plan for today. Let's take a look at the QQQ game plan. All right, on the QQQ game plan, QQQ pivot, all right, is 472.85. Again, underneath, see this little low right here, underneath 467.60. I'm a bear, all right, and over that high we ran into yesterday at the end of the day, 476.80 is a green erases red event right there. All right, I don't think we'll even touch the pivot or the green erases red. Not today, okay? Again, either one, SPY or QQQ, 10-minute uptrends, all right, that break the rubber band candle, or 10-minute downtrends that break the rubber band candle, all right, are kind of something that I'm highly interested in trading, all right? So there's QQQ and SPY. Let's go back to SPY one more time. SPY. Let's pick up a clean chart. Go to the weekly. I just want to touch base. All right. Still in a weekly downtrend. All right. See the low? All right. We made lower lows. Still in a weekly downtrend. Monthly chart. All right. We won't be able to negate the monthly uptrend till we take out this low right here. All right, got to take out that low right there in order to negate the monthly downtrend. Weekly downtrend, yes, we're still in a weekly downtrend. Daily downtrend, got lower highs, lower lows, yes, we're still in a daily downtrend. 2 hour, I'm going to say with 2 hour being way down here, unless they recover it first within the first two candles, all right, 2 hours going to be in a downtrend as well, all right. Let's go take a look at SPY. No, excuse me, QQQ. All right, on the daily chart. Daily chart for QQQ. All right, and SPY, they're both neutral. Okay, QQQ, higher low, higher high, closing inside a bearish. See that? See the yellow underneath the white? All right, so that's inside. That's a bearish trap. All right, if the yellow's on top, that's a bullish. See, that's a bullish trap. That's a bearish trap. Bullish is when the yellow's on top. Bearish is when the yellow line is underneath the white one. Okay, so closing inside a bearish trap, but under, see the red dots? That's a 17 EMA. Under the 17 EMA, okay? Pull this out. This is the low up to a high. You see the quad lines in here. Okay, you can see price action. Not in the lower third, not in the upper third, so it's just neutral. All right, QQQ. And SPY is the same thing. All right, and you'll see it right here. Okay, SPY is the same thing. Okay, just not in the upper third, not in the lower third, just neutral. All right, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow, nice one here. Okay, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish cross, closing over a fading 17 EMA right there. Okay, above the cross and above the 17. Not looking good right now. Okay, anyways, still in a downtrend. All right, lower highs, got a lower high, got a lower low. All right, we're in a pullback in a downtrend right now. Okay, we haven't made any higher highs yet. So Diamond Dow still in a downtrend. QQQ, actually all of the Fab 5 still in downtrends. Let's take a look at IWM. All right, IWM put in an outside day. Okay, that's a higher high. See, there's yesterday's high, higher high. Okay, and a lower low. See, it got underneath that. See that candle wick down, that candle tail down there? Got underneath it. So that's an outside day. All right, it closed over. Okay, see, here's a bearish trap again. See, the yellow line is underneath. Closed over the bearish trap, but under this fading or falling 17 EMA right there. Okay, if we map out on the quad lines, okay, from the low up to the high, you can see price action. All right, is under the 17. All right, it's under the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line. Under this uptrend line, probably could move that out to there. All right, under this uptrend line, under the midpoint in the lower third, so that's bearish. That's IWM. Okay, let's take a look at FNGA. All right, FNGA got a higher low. See how it just squeaked out that higher low right there and got a higher high. Closed inside. See the yellows underneath, inside a bearish trap. Under a falling 17, under that pink line, that's an all-time high anchored VWAP, okay, in the lower third, all right, that's bearish right there, FNGA. Okay, so we just did, everything's looking in a downtrend, and some of them are neutral, and some of them, 3 of the 5 are bearish, all right, so, and then on top of that, the relief rally to the relief rally, all right, is just got wiped out by Trump tariffs. We'll just call them tariffs, all right? So we just got wiped out by tariffs. So the relief rally to the relief rally just got wiped out, all right? So there's FNGA. So it's not looking good. I'm going to say it's not looking good for the bulls. For the bulls. Looking awesome for the bears. Not looking good for the bulls. All right, let's go take a look at our technicals, T2122. See, we had a really fantastic day. Okay, you can see we started out, we knocked on the door to the sell zone because we left off right here. See that pink dash right there? We left off right there. We knocked on the door to the sell zone, all right? The bulls said no. They slammed the door so hard we went airborne all the way up to the buyer's chop zone. All right, produced a higher low and then a higher high inside the buy zone up here where the bears said nah, all right, and they threw us out and we wound up chomping around inside the buyer's chop zone for a good part of the day. And then at the very end of the day, we made an attempt to get back into the buy zone. And obviously you can see the bears said not this time. All right, because we're going to start out way down here. All right, so there's T2122. All right, so for T2123, you can see a lot of bullish price action on the T2122. Almost replicated or resonated here with Mostly green day, mostly green, okay? But, big but here, okay? All right, it's the third day. We still haven't filled this bearish gap. All right, we're working on the 1, 2, that's 3 days, and we still have not filled that bearish gap, okay? So if there's any sign that the bears are in town, there's your clue right there, all right? 3 days, can't fill the gap, all right? That says it all. I mean, we're bearish, okay? We're underneath this falling, or excuse me, flat 200 SMA, okay? All right? Here's a V-bottom bounce, all right? That's not happening here, all right? Got a bear flag, and we linger too long in the fabric of the flag, and guess what? We got a breakdown, all right? So now we're underneath the 200 SMA again. Okay, so there's T2123. Okay, no signs of bulls, all right? Just going to say it. Got a little 10-minute or 15-minute uptrend, little rally here, okay? But nothing really. We're not making higher highs. We're not filling bearish gaps, and we're caught underneath the 200 SMA, and we're way under prior all-time highs. Here's prior all-time high. There's a prior all-time high. Here's the all-time high way up here. All right, so that's T2123. All right, let's take a look at the same deal on the 3-bar chart. Okay, you can see bear flag, hockey stick right here. Down, here's the handle, and then over to the right. There's the hockey blade to the hockey stick. All right, you can see it's red. It's been red. Red is the dominant color right now, okay? There's no signs of bulls. All right? Bears got tired here for 3, but that's it. There's no signs of bulls. All right? Underneath, fading 200 SMA. That's T2123, okay? No signs of bulls. FNGA, all right? Look at this. This is horrible. This is crazy. All right, so FNGA yesterday, which was the second. All right, you can see green was the dominant color, okay? Okay, the bulls rallied, and then, then they took a 6 martini lunch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 martini lunch. All right, got a little too drunk, maybe, I guess. All right, and then took a rally into the close, spiking that fading 200 SMA right there. Okay, so there's the FNGA. All right, nice bullish price action. Little relief rally to the relief rally. Okay, was looking really good. All right, there's FNGA. All right, that was looking good. Making higher lows and higher highs. See them? There's a higher low, made a higher high. There's a higher low, there's a higher high. See what I'm saying? Higher low, higher high. That was looking good. That was just getting going. FNGA, all right? Now we watch the FNGA because it only contains 10 securities. And all 10 are heavily weighted securities within the SPY and the QQQ. So we're watching 10 of the most heavily weighted stocks in the securities in the QQQ and the SPY, which also happen to have the ability to jerk the index regardless of what the remainder are doing. All right? If these 10 move in a pack, it doesn't matter what the remainder are doing. All right? They will jerk them along with. They will jerk the index in the direction that they move. All right? So there's FNGA. That's why we keep an eye on this one. All right? That's FNGA. All right, let's go take a look at some other sectors. All right, first sector we'll start off with is the XLE. And I just want to say the XLE is doing really good. All right. Again, moving up and holding the higher ground up here. That's doing fantastic. Okay, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap. Okay, see the bullish trap. Over a rising 17, see the green dots? All right, over a 12-month high anchored VWAP, see the pink line? Okay, over downtrend line 1, that's this line right here. Over downtrend line 2, that's this line right here. Okay, up over the midpoint in the upper third, actually in quadrant 4, that's bullish up there. Okay, and moving up and holding the higher ground. That's fantastic. XLE. Keep an eye on energy. Energy's doing well. All right, that's XLE. Let's take a look at USO. All right, look at USO. Moving up and away here. All right, lower high, lower low, but closing over a bullish trap, over a rising 17. Okay, over this, see this? It's a 3-year high anchored VWAP. Back, that's a 2022 COVID high, post COVID high right there. Okay, we're up over that 3-year high anchored VWAP. We're up over the uptrend line. That's looking good. We're up over the midpoint. That's looking good. Okay, we're getting close to knocking on the door to the upper third. All right. And you can see they held for 3 days here, and then they got a rip. Maybe they can hold for 3 days here, and we could get a rip. Not liking this over here, though. Not liking that at all. All right, so there's USO. Little Dr. Seuss, don't like that at all. Not one bit, one bit. All right, so there's USO. That's still neutral. If it was in the upper third, we could call it bearish. Excuse me, we could call it bullish. All right, if it got into the upper third, we could call it bullish. But it's not there yet. Not there yet. And by the looks of this, I don't know. All right, let's take a look at UNG. All right, UNG, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish cross, but underneath this 17 EMA here, okay? Notice in the upper third, that's bullish. Over the uptrend line, that's bullish. Over 12-month high anchored VWAP, that's bullish. Okay, up over the midpoint, that's bullish. Okay, showing a head and shoulders right now. That's UNG. Nice high flyer there in the bullish zone. Okay, in a downtrend because it's making lower highs and lower lows. All right, just saying it's in a downtrend. But you can have a downtrend, in this uptrend. All right, it's called the pullback. All right, notice we're not coming all the way back here. We're kind of holding the higher ground. So that's bullish up there. Okay, so that's UNG. Take a look at GLD. GLD put in an inside day. Okay, that's a lower high and a higher low. Closing over a bullish trap, over this prior all-time high anchored VWAP, over these rising green dots. That's the 17. Zoom out up here at the top of quadrant 4. Gold is bullish and in a daily uptrend. Silver also higher low, higher high in a daily uptrend as well, making higher lows. See the low here below the 17, making a high up here above the 17. This is the 17, the green dots. Okay, so closing inside a bullish trap. See the 3 on top of the 8, inside a bullish trap, over the rising 17, up at the top of quadrant 4, over this. This is actually it doubles as a 6-month high anchored VWAP and a 12-year high anchored VWAP. All right, so up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish up there. All right, let's take a look at a few more sectors, and then we'll look at the economic package. SMH, all right, not doing us any favors at all. All right. Higher low, higher high, closing inside a bearish trap under the falling 17. See the red dots underneath this 12-month high anchored VWAP or all-time high anchored VWAP right there. All right, underneath it, underneath the midpoint in quadrant 1, that's bearish, SMH. All right, the sibling to SMH is the XLK. All right, that's the technology technology sector. I meant sector. All right, I said sister because I had sibling on my mind. All right, so higher low, higher high, just like SMH. All right, closing inside a bearish trap right there. All right, under a falling 17. Under, see the pink line, all-time high anchored VWAP. Under, see the goal line, that's the uptrend line. All right, no longer in the upper third. Can't speak for it right now, but as of close yesterday, no longer in the upper third, lower third, so that's neutral right there. All right, so that's neutral. Let's take a look at XLF. Okay, XLF put in higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over, see the pink line, all-time high anchored VWAP. Up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish. All right, let's take a look at IYT. All right, IYT, higher low, higher high. Closing, okay, over a bearish trap, but under the falling 17. And under the pink line, the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the midpoint, still in the lower third, so it's bearish. All right, there's IYT. All right, let's go take a look. Let's go take a look at the economic package. All right, on the economic package, we got SPY Max Pain for today. That's the SPY options that expire today. Max Pain is 564. I don't think we're going to go anywhere near it. We'll see. I got 1 1/3 puts to every call. All right, those puts made out like bandits this morning. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. All right, all the puts made out like bandits. So way to go on those. All right, and let's take a look at the dollar. Look at that drop on the dollar. Now you would think, and just saying, that if we're going to charge tariffs, I'm just saying this, all right? If the USA, I'm not saying we're, I said we're, but I didn't mean it, okay? If the USA is going to charge tariffs, wouldn't that make a stronger dollar, bringing in more revenue? And yet the dollar's tanking. I'm all for the dollar to tank, but I'm just saying, all right? It doesn't, seems like we got a conundrum here. All right, anyways, all right, dollar closed yesterday, breaking major support right here. I said we need to break that, and we did break it. Closed yesterday, 103.70 area. All right, and we're falling. Probably going to check out this break up candle low right here. All right, right there. So there's the dollar in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. That's a downtrend. We like that. Showing a head and shoulders. Yeah, and guess what? We're going to come down. See where the right arm extended to? Well, we're looking for the left arm to extend down to, yeah, the same location. All right, on the earnings front, okay, today's Thursday. Again, nothing but familiar names, but nobody that's going to move the markets, all right? Same for Friday. I don't know why we got Saturday up there. That used to be Monday. Somebody's going to report on Saturday? Really? All right, so familiar names, all right, but nobody that's going to move the markets, all right? On the economic data. All right, tomorrow Mr. Powell speaks. That's going to be the main event. Today, international trade goods and services, 8:30, jobless claims, 8:30, PMI composite final, 9:45. Thank you, Alan, for sharing the economic data. Love it. Thank you so much. ISM services index, 10 o'clock. Natural gas report at 10:30. Like it is almost every Thursday at 10:30. Notice the petroleum report, 10:30, almost every Wednesday. Okay, almost like clockwork right there. Okay, after that, light day. All right, Mr. Powell speaks at 11.25 tomorrow. I don't think there's going to be much for him to say other than we're going to be hawkish and they're going to have to watch and see what the tariffs do to the inflation. Okay, think about it. If we're adding 10% onto everything that we buy from foreign countries, and we buy a lot of crap from foreign countries, that's going to tweak the inflation numbers a little bit. I'm just saying, I don't think there's any way around it. All right, so after that, we got a rig count at 1, and that's it for the economic package. All right, I will see you guys in about 35-40 minutes. All right, I'm going to render my video, get it out there for Cyberland, Digital Land. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning. Yeah, dollar's not in safe haven, that's for sure. Gold is, but not the dollar. All right. If you got questions, drop them in there. If not, you will see me in about 35-40 minutes. Oh yeah, today we got right here. All right, I'm going to share this. We got e-learning, and it's going to be me. What happened? Well, I had it. We got e-learning at noon. All right, Doug's going to start off at noon. All right, and then I'm gonna come on at 1. All right, and then comes Rick. He's the Grand Slam hitter. All right, he's gonna bring us all home. All right, so e-learning today. All right, and the topic is trading the indexes. All right, so Doug's at noon, me at 1. This is for members. All right, you guys out there in Cyberland, hey, I'm just telling you, become a member. All right, Rick at 2. All right, he's the home run hitter right there. All right, so we'll see you guys in. It's going to be in the e-learning room. I forget what it's called. I don't know what it's called. It's called something. For some reason, I just got a brainstorm right there. Oh yeah, one more thing. All you guys that are new, all right, I want to show you something. All right, over here, all right, on the home page, let's go to the home page. Okay, let's say you're a BYOB member right here. Okay, combined e-learning room, that's where we're going. All right, at noon. All right, I'm not going to be in the room. All right, I'm not going to be in the BYOB Trading Room at 1. I'll be over here in the combined e-learning room. Okay, all you guys that are new members. Okay, all right, go to the home page. All right, and then you can click resources. Come down here to public webinar replays. Okay, you guys are asking me about learning material. There's a ton of learning content here. All right, this one's a good one. Examine the price action looking for clues. Right there. That's an awesome one. Right there. And you'll find it. All you got to do is go to resources, public webinars. All right. And let me just show you something. There's 10 on each page. And guess what? There's like 20 pages. That's 200 videos. All right. Right there. Just on that one. Now hold on, there's more. All right, don't go away now. All right, then we go to the e-learning for the members. All right, now look at all of those. Making the trade, make a plan, trade the plan. Okay, setting and adjusting stops. This is a take on one subject. All three of us give you a different perspective or a shared perspective. Either one, okay? Repeating tradable patterns. There's a good one. All right? And let me show you this. There's 10 on each page. All right, we got 30 pages. That's 300 videos right there. 300 and 200. There's 500 e-learning videos right there. Okay, you couldn't finish all of these videos before your trial is up. I'm just saying, they're all right there. All right? All right, so everybody that's new, all right, there you go. Resources, e-learning, public webinars. Okay, 200 on one, 300 on the other. Tons of learning content there. Okay? I can't say one is any more important than the other. If you're from my videos, they're all relevant. They're all equally important. All right. So, from my perspective, the other guys, I haven't watched all their videos, but I got to tell you, I enjoy listening to them and watching them. Full of insight, Doug and Rick. All right. So, a ton of learning content. Resources, public e-learning, all right, public e-learning and e-learning webinars for the members, all right, and here we are, and then me today at 1 o'clock, all right, trading the indexes. It's going to be right in my lane, right there, trading the indexes. I love trading the indexes, all right, so I'll be in there at 1 o'clock. At noon, Doug starts. All right. All right, I'll see you guys, all right, in about 35, 40 minutes. We'll kick off the market.